I continue it or should I leave? Because I'm telling you why. Pratishta told me to continue. In the first session when I joined 1.5 months back, that was my first session, and that case was again of the ADHD client with a small baby, and Himanshi ma'am was taking the case. And at that day, I tried to be a normal counselor, normal solutions, which I thought is okay. But she told me that it's not right because I don't have any knowledge about ADHD, right? So I give very general solutions as a counselor. So I don't have any knowledge related to ADHD. Should I continue with the case study or should I leave?
If you want to listen to the conversation and understand that how it goes, it's completely all right. Or next, what I will do in this session, I will just do the mock session and everything. Everyone will be playing the role of a counselor or a counselor. In the next session, that is on the next Saturday, I will be giving you solutions. That is what I do generally, right? So if you want to join that session, that is also okay, completely upon you.
Yeah, because in today's session, either I have to be a counselor or a counselee. So
if you want to just listen to the conversation, that is also completely all right.
Okay.
It's totally upon you, Shweta. It's
Okay,
your call.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So those of you who are joining for the first time, just want to repeat myself again. So on Saturdays, we have mock sessions, and today is the case of ADHD. You might have dealt with ADHD before. And for just one clarification, last time we were dealing with sexual harassment, right? So some of the phases were left. I'm not continuing with it tomorrow because I've got the information that yesterday there were some complexities. With that, we have to start afresh completely. And today we will start afresh from ADHD. This is the case we are going to deal with. And now in the next session, I will give you the solutions for ADHD. So from now on, it will be like that. In one session, we will understand the case. You will do the mock session, role plays and everything. And likewise, we did in the sexual harassment thing. Likewise, we will deal with the next session will be solution focused. Understood? Ujjwala, you seem confused.
Ma'am, actually confused. So first session is going to be only the role play. Second session, you will be giving the solutions.
Right. But we are not continuing with the sexual harassment part because there were a lot of complexities and there are many new joinees today. So the problem is that they will be confused then if I continue with the sexual harassment part, right?
So that will be like, when will we have that in that case? Like the phase?
I'll ask Shipra, maybe in the next month, we'll fix up a day which will only be about sexual harassment. And then we'll take up a case and then we'll continue with that.
Works.
Oh, yes, Shataji.
Yeah, hello. I just wanted to ask, I have joined this counseling certification course. So now am I in the right place like that?
Yeah, you are completely at the right place. On Friday, we have 2 sessions. On Saturday, now today we have one session only, that is of ADHD. Now, Dr. Shraddha, you listen to our conversation. Today's session is all about mock plays and role plays. So how you act like a counselor.
It is about that certification course only. So everyone in this session is involved with that certification course, or some of them is from the diploma also?
I think it's a mixed group, Shraddha ji. I think it's a mixed group. That is what I mean.
So it's okay, yeah, it's in the right place.
Yeah. You are at the right place. No issues with that.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, so
can I speak a word?
Yeah, who's this?
I'm Vikram speaking.
Yeah, Vikram. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, madam. Actually, yesterday when I heard some of the statements from your side, I was really disappointed, because we are doing the course for doing something to helping out the society, but we have got a lot of trials and tribulations, like we have to complete
First of all, Vikramji, I just wanted to clear one thing. It is not from my side, and the confusion has been sorted. Himanshi said something. So today, I think everybody was involved in some service connect, and the queries have been sorted for some of the people. So, Vikramji, I was not directly involved in this. Again, Satish, just
No, actually,
mute.
my
म्यूट पे
target is
डाल
what
दीजिए
I have
सबको.
got 23 years of my experience in the school. So now, what I was thinking that I'll be slightly inclined to the students and the parents for guiding them, as they are finding a lot of difficulties in their life, especially the students and even the parents. They cannot able to nurture their children. So I think I was thinking that if I do this course, then I can able to make myself out, at least helping them and all. But when I was going to do this thing, that some of the criteria about completing of master in psychology, and this thing has really made me little bit of barriers kind of sort of thing.
Again, Vikramji, I'm just clearing it out, clarifying for you once again. Any service related question, any technical question, any problem that you have with the course, every Saturday, as Aditi has posted, we have Service Connect. In that,
Okay, ma'am.
sir will be answering your question directly.
Okay.
So that
Okay,
is
ma'am.
why I'm
Thank you.
not catering to any question.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just present my screen and we are going to start with the case. I hope you have read the case before, but I am giving you 5 minutes. Just go through the case, understand the case, and then we can act like a counselor or a counselee. And I would request you, please volunteer so that in this session only we attend a lot of mock plays or the role plays. In the next session, it's all will be solution focused, right? So this session is only for mock plays. Yes. So let's start. Just let me know when I have to scroll the screen. Aditi, the next week will be solution giving or solution focus of ADHD. After that week, we might have sexual harassment case. So I will complete that. Don't worry about this. Since we have a lot of new people in this group, we have started with something afresh, right?
So Nancy, we will not have any more new people joining again.
That I don't know, but the information that I've got is that Prashant, are you speaking?
Yeah, Pratap.
Yeah, Pratap. Yeah. So what they will do basically, they will actually start from today. So the confusion that has been sorted now from today, there will be for me, it will be one in which you will be doing the role play. The another session that will be the progressing session will be solution focus. For me, it will be like that. I do not know about Himanshi. So in my session, if anybody join, we will be progressing like that from today itself.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Can you please scroll, Nancy?
Yeah.
I couldn't read the first paragraph.
Just a second. Actually, the case is on the WhatsApp group also, so you can just have a look at it.
Can you minimize this one so that it can be seen entirely?
Minimize as in
So that entire
Okay.
page can be seen.
The font to be bigger, I think. The
okay.
screen size if you can.
Just give me a second. I'll do that.
Ma'am, there's that zoom unzoom 100% is there. Maybe if that you can reduce also, that also works.
Correct.
Right side bottom.
Is that okay?
Ma'am, it's reduced actually. Yeah, better. Hello.
I hope you guys are making notes somewhere. Do write important points. It's a long case, and why I have given such long description in the last case when we were dealing, and I've gone through many cases that were posted by me and Imachi earlier. So in that there were a lot of confusion because when we were acting like a counselor or a counselor, certain points you used to add up, right, while describing those things. So that is why I've given a lot of description so that you know and every point is covered in detail. Those of you who are joining for the first time, let me describe what is ADHD for you, though you might not act as a counselor or a counselee, but just for your understanding, this case is for ADHD. So AD-HD, that is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, right? And it can be caused in children also, adolescents also, and in a larger age group, adults also. To give you a more insight, it starts from the childhood phase. So if it is being diagnosed, it can be diagnosed around 3 to 4 years easily, right? So there are many, although I will talk in detail in the next session, but just to give you a brief idea. Now, this is a case of a 7-year-old child. His name is Jack, and he's a grade 1, class 1 student. Now, when we tell about presenting complaints, what are the presenting complaints? The difficulty that the child is facing, and he's coming to the psychologist or he's coming to the counselor for that. So these are the difficulties. Now you have to analyze, read between the line, understand what the case says, and accordingly you will act like a counselee or a counselor, right? So this is the situation that is there. Should I scroll up? Yes, Divya, you can just observe. It's completely all right. That is why generally what I do in one class, I take up a topic wherein you act. In the next class, I completely describe you everything. What is ADHD? How it is caused? What are the presenting complaints? How can you identify ADHD? What are the tests that are there? Completely everything in one class, right? So just be very relaxed about it. Just observe and just go through what is happening. Okay. Should I stop sharing? Are you guys ready? Guys, can I have a yes or a no or a thumbs up, something that
Yes,
would
ma'am.
indicate?
Wait for a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
अभी just थोड़ा सा करना है नीचे.
Uh, is it okay, Pal?
Can you scroll down little bit more? Yeah, it's. I need it like later part.
Achha,
यहाँ
just-
से. The first slide only. The first slide only. Yeah, here. Thank you, ma'am.
Although I have posted it on your WhatsApp group, any confusion that is there, you can refer to the WhatsApp group also, right? Okay, Vika, you sing very well, but I just want to mute you.
Ma'am, can we get the next slide?
Yeah, sure. Yes, Ushashri, it's okay. You just relax. If anything you want to speak or if anything you want to say, you can just write it down in the chat box. That's completely all right.
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes,
Ma'am,
Manvi.
what is the behavior concern? Ma'am, you have written that he was having ADHD at the age of 7 when he was in class 1, and here it is written that uh, he used to behave very like inappropriately at the age of 4 in preschool. तो मैम उसमें क्या कहते हैं like
बेटा
क्या
प्री स्कूल तो पहले हो गया, प्री स्कूल इज नर्सरी केजी, तो वो बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम व्हेन डिड द प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट इन स्कूल, सो इट स्टार्टेड एट एज 4, तब उन्हें ये सारी चीजें दिखी, द साइंस एंड द सिम्टम्स, एंड नाउ ही इज 7 currently. This is what the paragraph is trying to say, right?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Guys, I hope you have read. Should we start with the role play?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you, Jwala. Okay, so who will be acting as a counselor and a counselee? Can I have your names in the chat box, please? You can write it as counselor 1, counselor 2, anything, or counselee 1, counselee 2, anything.
Ma'am, excuse me,
Yeah.
ma'am. Before
Yeah,
we
ma'am.
start, I have a question. Ma'am, do we have to counsel the parents or the child?
The child over there, you have to observe how you talk to the child. If you want to involve a parent, but then somebody has to be a parent also in this. If you want
I
to
want to be a parent, ma'am.
Neetuji, you are saying something?
Yeah, I'm saying I will act like a parent.
Okay. So Manvi, if you have to, you can coordinate in the chat box. If somebody wants to be a parent, somebody wants to be a child, somebody wants to be a counselor, just coordinate in the chat box, right? Okay, so quickly. Okay, so Piyush, you want to be a counselee? That is completely all right. So Piyush wants to be a counselee. Who will be the child? Okay, Siddhi also wants to be a counselor. Anybody who wants to become a, so we have a parent, we have a counselor. Who will become the child?
I will be the child.
Who's speaking? Okay, Shivam. Yeah, perfect. So, Shivam, Neetuji, Neetuji, are you able to hear me? I think she's frozen. Okay, so Piyush, are you here? Piyush, are you able to hear me? Okay, then we move on to Siddhi. Siddhi, you are here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Siddhi. So Siddhi will be a counselor, Shivam will be the child, and anybody who's up for parent. Okay, no, fine. So Siddhi and Shivam, you can start.
Yeah. Just a minute, ma'am.
Manvi, you want to be a parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Siddhi, Manvi is a parent, Shivam is the child, and you are the counselor. Let's start.
Ma'am, we can open up with the general information, right? Like
Anything.
Okay.
And ma'am,
Okay.
I have to share my problem, like I am not able to sleep and all.
Shivam, can you just repeat?
I have to share my problem that I am not able to sleep and all.
Just a
What
second.
like
Just a second, Shivam, we'll just start. I'm just trying to pin them. Okay, so we can't pin 3 people altogether. So we have to start with Siddhi and Manvi. Shivam, are you here?
yes, ma'am.
Why can't
Okay,
I-
I'll watch like what they are doing.
Okay, Shiva. Perfect. Okay, Siddhi, so it will be like this, that Siddhi will be a counselor, Manvi, you will be a parent. Let's begin.
Okay, so I have to talk with the parent first, right? Okay. Um, all right. Manvi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Can I know the full name of the child and his age?
The full name of the child is Jack, and his age is 7.
Okay.
And he is having this problem since since he was 4. He was only having the symptoms, but right now the problem has been increased. He has been very hyperactive, not able to sit in one place. He can't be attentive in class. The teacher was also complaining that he can't sit still. He's keep running around the class and disturbing the children. That's what the problem is come.
Okay. So can you tell the grades?
Grade
The grade of the child?
first class. He is in first class.
Okay. He's into first standard. Now, can you just tell me when it comes to listening to what you say? So how is he when it comes to listening what you talk or what you tell him or what you make him do?
He listens, but after some time he doesn't act upon it. Like if I tell him to like eat something, or give him to eat something, that you have eat this toffee. He keeps it, but doesn't act upon it. मतलब वो खाता नहीं उस चीज को, रख देता है.
So do you try to tell him 2 things at a time or like have you tried telling him multiple things or 2 things at a time, like do this and bring this, or it's just bring
Yeah.
this?
Once I gave him the 10 rupee note, and I told him to bring a certain thing, like so he was not able to do that.
Okay, so
He came back
you
from
have
the shop and crying and agitating very much. So I was like, okay, fine. So that's where I noticed that he must be having ADHD.
all right. Now
Your-
can you please tell me
your
that
voice
does
is
he?
not-
Hello.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
now it's all right.
Okay. Can you tell me how far or how long he can sit at one place?
Not more than 30 seconds.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, can you tell me how it comes, how is it when it comes to interaction? Is he able to communicate his needs or is he out of words? Or does he mention everything or he speaks everything in like one go, in like, this, that, or is it very much specific?
He can't interact with strangers. Like when it comes to family, like me, his siblings or his grandparents, he can interact with them very nicely. But when it comes to stranger, like neighbors, or he doesn't like to go there. And the thing you said that about words, no, he speaks in a very breaking manner. Like he break words. He labors, like blabbering very much.
Okay. Um, all right. And how is he when it comes to like outdoor activities? Is he outgoing? What does he likes to play?
He likes to play cricket with his father. He's only comfortable with his father, but when it comes to friends, he doesn't play with them. मतलब उतने अच्छे से नहीं खेल पाता है.
Okay. When it comes to other physical activities like playing outdoor, running, and everything, can you describe how is he?
Running में तो अच्छा है. He can run. He runs very well.
Okay. All good with walking and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you describe me how is he academically?
Academically, he is really very well. His performance is great, but in physical, he can't sit in one place.
Okay. Can you let me know more of his favorite subjects? Maybe like it can be English, math.
Yeah, mathematics and English is his favorite. These two are his favorite subjects.
English and maths. Okay. And when it comes to performing those, as in how is his performance when it comes to those subjects?
His performance is also very great. He's excellent at.
So you're saying that he understands the concepts very well when it comes to maths and English.
But in other subjects like science, social studies, and all the subjects which he studies, वो नहीं कर पाता है. EVS वगैरह.
Okay. Can you describe more about his reading and writing? Does he likes to read, write? When it comes to the classwork, basically.
If it is a very long paragraph or very long reading, he gets irritated. He doesn't like to stay still and read that particular paragraph or that particular page. But when it comes, and same goes with writing also, वो एक जगह पे बैठ के ना लिख सकता है ना पढ़ सकता है. ज़्यादा देर तक नहीं. If it is a short paragraph or if he has to write only 1 to 2 sentences, that he can do. But when it comes to like reading for long paragraphs and writing long paragraphs, writing an essay, he can't do that. He'll gets irritated.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when specifically, now tell me the difference when you give him the activity that he likes and when you give him activity that is not more of his interest. How is the attention span? Okay, suppose starting with the activity that he likes. So can you let me know about more about how long is he able to be in the activity?
So I do cognitive retraining. Sorry, I do reinforcement. Like if I give him a homework to read a paragraph, a long paragraph, and if I give him a homework to write an essay, then I say that if you complete this, then I will give you this. Give you this like. It can be his favorite toy, or it can be a chocolate, or it can be anything. So I reward him if he completes it. So इस तरह से if I reinforce him, then he completes it. If not, then I give him a punishment.
Okay, so you give him a punishment. Punishment in the sense what?
Punishment in the sense that I don't give his favorite toy. I don't give him phone to watch the cartoons or some sort of thing. Then this is the punishment that I give. I don't punish him physically, only in this way.
Okay, so you are saying that he is only able to sustain his attention when the reinforcements are presented.
Yeah.
Okay, and when there is no motivation or no reinforcement, he doesn't sit at all?
No.
Okay, so
every time he needs a motivation or reinforcement to sit in one place.
Okay, and it works with only the give and take thing, as in you have to present with something. Okay, so what kind of reinforcement do you prefer for him?
He's very fond of playing with cars. Okay, so if he does one activity like reading or sitting in one place for an hour or some sort of thing, then I give him cars and I will tell him to play, and like I say कि तुम्हें जितनी देर खेलना है तुम खेल लो, I won't stop you इस तरह से. That's how I reinforce him.
All right. How is he when it comes to social interactions? As in, when he speaks to his age group or his friends group in the class or outside the class. So, does that really happen? Yes, no?
Not really.
He doesn't interact?
The teacher always complains that he doesn't even interact.
না না নাকি সামনে লিখতে হবে না বিকজ ওটা তো স্ট্যান্ডার্ড
You're in.
Continue. I muted her.
Okay. So yeah, where was I?
Social interaction.
Guys, it's a humble request from my side. Those of you who are not participating in the role play, please mute yourself. It's really distracting. Yes, ma'am. We said sorry for the interruption. Please continue.
Yeah.
No issues.
So yes, ma'am. Even teacher always complains that he can't even interact with me, and not even with students. He is always roaming around and disturbing everyone, and just not attention-seeking behavior, doing attention-seeking behavior, trying to grab attention from everybody in the class, but doesn't interact. क्योंकि अगर वो ऐसे roam around करेगा, it's very obvious that everybody will look at him and he will be a center of attraction. So that's how he seeks attention.
Okay. How is he when you tell him to wait for a particular thing? Like, now it's not your turn. Like, you have to wait. Then I'll give you this thing. So, does he follow that or no?
If it is like something of his favor, like if it is his favorite activity that I tell him कि अगर तुमने ये किया तो तुमको ये करने को मिलेगा, तो then he agrees with it and then he does wait and waits for his turn. But if I don't tell him that yes, you will not get to do this, or you will not I won't give you your favorite food, or I won't let you do your favorite activity, then he starts getting irritated and throwing tantrums and doing some sort of things like that. So if I say that you will get to do your favorite things, then yes, he waits.
Okay. All right. Is he involved into any fidgeting behavior, like anything that he does constantly?
He keeps like hitting his legs like on the wall. Whenever he sits, he start doing this. पैर हिलाना start कर देता है and starts मतलब कि throwing his hands like this in this way and crying. Yes, that's a fidgeting behavior he does.
Okay, you mentioning that he cries as well?
Yeah. Cries like not in that way emotionally, but to seek attention, just to seek attention.
Okay, just to seek attention. All right. Now, can you just let me know about his sleep routine, his sleep schedule, his rest schedule?
So yeah, his sleep schedule is very bad. He wakes up in the middle of the night and starts fidgeting, and whenever we try to like make him sleep and make him like stay in one place, he keeps running away and he like starts running around the bed or room throwing tantrums. So उस टाइम पे उसको संभालना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है.
Okay. Apart from that, in his day-to-day routine, have you indulged him to any of the activities?
Yeah, I tried to indulge him in karate classes, but
Okay.
from there also complaint was coming very constantly that he doesn't do anything and just say roaming around and disturbing everybody. वहां से भी I had to get him from there.
Okay. So apart from karate, any other physical activity or any outdoor activity he doesn't do?
I even tried to like I go more of in sports, like sports activity, but I tried to indulge him in dance classes, but from there also the same complaint came.
Okay. So
He can't
you
get fit in one place. Matlab, doesn't concentrate.
okay. Um all right. Apart from that, is there any particular routine, his day routine that he follows? Like, have you set any timetable for him,
Ah,
like, you know,
yeah.
carrying out daily chores?
Mhm. Like I have said that I wake him up at 8 8 o'clock 8 a.m. Then I start like I take him to the like uh, park and make him walk with me, and then we came back home at 8:30. We walk for 30 minutes. Then I give him puzzles to do. Like after we come back from park. I gave him puzzles like a very मतलब कि थोड़ा mindfulness वाला जिसमें उसको दिमाग लगाना पड़े. तो I give him puzzles and yeah, reinforcement one again. I reinforce him with if you finish this in a particular time, like if you finish this in 5 minutes, then I will give you your favorite toy to play or favorite food, some sort of thing like that. Then I make him to do like जो उसके favorite subjects है, I tell him to study that. And I sit with him, I observe him. If he's successful in doing that, then again I reward him. If he doesn't do that, then I punish him. Like that the already I told you how I punish him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Okay.
how I
So when you
set the routine.
okay, all right. So when you give him puzzles, is he able to solve them like quickly, or he takes a lot of time?
Yeah, he takes a lot of time.
Okay, but at the end, he is able to solve them. All right. What is it when it comes to, keeping or managing or organizing his own things? Have you ever told him to do so?
Yeah.
Okay. So how is he
I
when it
told
comes
him-
to that?
Sorry?
How is he when it comes to that?
Not very well, not very good. मतलब वो चीजें और
Can you
खराब
specify with an example?
like if
Yeah.
I
Can you
ask
specify
him,
with an example?
like if I ask him to keep the cushions in bed, so he throws them away. Instead of keeping them in one place, he throws them away.
Okay. Okay. And how is it when it comes to listening to the instructions? Like, does he follow particularly your instructions or everybody in the family?
But just my instructions.
And he just listens to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe a little bit of the way you speak with him? Giving one example.
Yeah, if he doesn't do the activity that I gave him nicely, then yeah, I scold him. But if he not very in a not in a very bad manner, but yeah, like if how why did you do that, and I like this. But if he completes it, then I reward him and I love him. I hug him. That's how I. That's what I do.
All right. Like does he have any tactile needs? Is he okay when is he always does he always keeps hugging you or something like that, or he keeps fidgeting with one particular texture? So is
No,
it there,
no,
there is something kind of this behavior?
no, 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 no.
Okay. Okay. So all right.
Physical
And one
interaction is very low. His physical
okay.
interaction is very
Okay. Okay. Um, all right. One last question, just reconfirmation. How long? How long is
low.
his attention?
One second.
Yeah.
Earlier, I noticed that whenever he sees me, like whenever Achanak say, so he runs to me and just try to like come up on my like shoulders. I noticed like 2 days ago. मतलब जब भी मेरे को देखता है ऐसे भाग के he tries to grab my shoulders.
Okay. It's too tight. Like, when he comes and hugs, he holding you very
Yeah,
tight?
very tightly, very tight.
Yeah. Okay. So when you tell him to leave or just be at a distance, so does he listen to that?
No.
Okay. So how do you calm him down with that thing?
Sorry.
So how do you calm him down? Like, how do you let him aside from you?
I just hold him and
All right. All right. Well, the last thing, just a reconfirmation. How long, like if you have ever noticed, how long is his attention span when it comes to doing a particular thing? Any particular thing. Something
sorry,
that is not something
I,
that, yeah, go ahead.
I can't get you. Please.
Okay. Okay. So when you particularly tell him to do something, if suppose puzzle, not puzzle, like puzzle to you give him on daily routine, but then anything such as, build the blocks, right? So how far is he able to sustain or be into that activity?
Like if he tries really hard to make the blocks, but if it doesn't get completed in 5 minutes, then he just bash out all the blocks and runs away.
Okay. Okay. So you are telling me that in a particular activity or a particular thing, he is able to sit and he's able to sustain his attention into a particular thing for 5 minutes. Okay, the whole
Like
five
if it
minutes.
is not his favorite activity, then yeah, like see, I give him puzzles on daily routine, so it becomes his habit. But if if I give him blocks, then yeah, if it doesn't get completed in 5 minutes, then he just throws it and runs away.
Okay, so you're telling me that he needs a prior orientation about certain things when it comes to, telling him to do certain things.
Yeah.
So you have to give him a prior orientation.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And how is it when it comes to, when it comes to sharing things with or any of the parents? Like, is he able to express himself well? Or
He expresses well with me, He's not that close with his father as with me. Whenever it comes to sharing something like what happened in school, what teacher said, and what happened today, teacher praised him or anything, he always comes to me and shares. And I always listen. But he never goes to his father.
Okay. And does he get frustrated often? Like, frustrated is a huge word, but does he get angry on small things? This is not happening. No, I'm not gonna do it. Something like that.
Yes, he gets.
Okay, so he gets angry too often, you say?
1 minute. One day I was like feeding him with dal chawal. So I was just feeding 1 second spoon of dal chawal. He just like threw the spoon and ran away. And I was like, what the hell? What happened? What just happened? I was like, oh, I was shocked with this behavior of his.
Okay, so did you try to like particularly observe what actually happened by the time? Like, was the food not good, or was something bothering with the spoon or the dish or the color around, something like
Yeah,
that?
I tried to observe, but he he gets irritated in a very unimaginable way, like in a very inappropriate way. कभी भी हो जाता है. There's no time, like there's no particular time कि हाँ इस time पे हो रहा है उस time पे अचानक से कभी भी then any time.
All right. And you started noticing this since the age of?
At the age of 5.
Okay. Just
Now things have got very worse. So that's why I came to you.
all right. And now he is 7. All right. So, what do you actually mean? Like, can you specify with things have gotten worse? Like, now he doesn't listen at all. Now he doesn't sit at all.
He doesn't sit at all. He doesn't listen at all. He agitates. He throws tantrums. He keep getting irritated in small things. These things have got very worse.
All right. Ma'am. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, Siddhi. Siddhi, are you able to hear me?
Yeah. I'm not able to see you.
Guys, are you able to see me? My video?
Yeah, now I'm able to see you.
So I'm not playing Mr. Yeah, right now. Good. Okay.
I had one question now.
Yes, Siddhi, please.
Now, after the interrogation and the talking part and asking questions, so are we supposed to suggest certain things?
Okay, I'll come to that. So you're finished with questioning?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Siddhi, and thank you, Manvi, for the line of questioning was great. That is what I thought, and my opinion is the same. That I think so. Everybody will agree with me. The line of questioning was good, but there were certain things I need to understand. First of all, in a line of questioning or whenever you counsel someone, there are 3 phases, right? So the first phase is the initial phase, then is the middle phase, and then is the third phase, that is the termination phase. You didn't start with the initial phase. You didn't form any kind of rapport. I assume that this is the first session. So first you need to form a rapport even with the parent, right? So that initial rapport formation was missing. You suddenly jump to the middle part. That is the line of questioning. Although the line of questioning was good, the gathering of the data was good, the gathering of information was good, the explanation part of Manvi's side, right? How she explained everything was completely all right. But questions were good, simple, direct, but they were deviating. right? So suppose you are starting with the line of questions. Suppose I am asking something very physical in nature. What are the physical yardstick, developmental yardsticks? First, I will complete that and then I will move on to the second thing. I'll give you an example. So there are spheres in somebody's life. The spheres start from what? It starts from individual. Then it moves on to school or office. Then it moves on to society or the relatives. So you flow like this in the ascending order. First, any data that you gather should be revolved around what? Individual. How he sleeps, what he eats, how he plays, what he does with the teacher, with the parents, everything related to the individual itself. Then you move on to the school environment, then you move on to the societal environment. This is how you flow. This is the procedure and this is the linking questions, basically. In order to what I have said, you have to ask the questions. Right? So this is the flow. So I've told you about the 3 sessions. I've told you about the spheres. One thing, when you said about the fiddling behavior, though I completely understand that Manvi is a student of psychology, so she knows the terminology of fiddling. But suppose I don't come from that background, I may wonder what is fiddling. So you need to actually give me examples like you gave in the attention part. Same examples you have to give for the fiddling part. Does your what do this? Does your kid do that? You have to explain in terms of action. Understood? Right. Second part, when you use the word attention span, instead of that, how much sustain of attention or how much attention needs to be sustained. So the word sustain is good, but attention span is not. For me, attention span could vary. For you, attention span could vary. Right? Or I may not understand what is attention span. So instead of that, how much attention one should retain. Right? So that is the question. For example, you Manvi mentioned 5 minutes. Now, I'll just repeat, Satish, just give me a minute. So now Manvi said 5 minutes, right? And when you were telling about, does he shares everything with you? Does he share anything that happens in the school? Understand this, if my attention span is 5 minutes, I do not retain things. Because 5 minutes only I'm focusing, how will I retain? If somebody has to story tell, if somebody has to describe the incident, at least this attention span should be in the short-term memory. So that is of how much? That is of at least 30 minutes to 1 hour, right? If the attention span is 5 minutes, that means that is episodic memory. Something is like an episode to me. It's all passing by, it's all happening, but I'm not retaining it. So sharing does not go with this. Understand it like that, right? Okay, so now this is the feedback from my side. Any question that you have to ask? Both of you, whoever has posted in the chat, I'll just cater to your question. Just give me a minute. Yes, Manvi and Siddhi, any question?
No, ma'am, no questions. I agree with your part that I forgot about the rapport building. I directly hopped on to.
So I think this is how you learn. This is trial and error. You make mistakes and then you learn.
Yeah, and the fidgeting behavior that you mentioned, I tried to explain the parent as in what, like giving specific examples. Does he tries to clap or does he tries to, so then she came up with, he keeps on with the leg thing. So he keeps on doing that.
The problem is you mentioned fiddling in the first part. So instead of fiddling, you should mention something and direct the actions. The action, not that terminology also. Right? Because let's understand, she's coming from a background and the second part is that she's literate. If you are working in a government hospital, in a government setup, in an NGO, there people will come from low socio-economic background. They won't understand these terminologies, even if you convert this terminology into Hindi or any of the regional languages. That is when you have to explain the actions. Give them examples. Haath hilata hai, pair hilata hai. Like that. This is how you ask and build rapport, right? So then, हाँ खिलाता तो है, लेकिन कभी कभार this sort of question you will get from the real parents, right? हमने कभी ध्यान नहीं दिया, हाँ पैर हिलाता तो है बैठता है जब, like that. These sort of answers that you get, right? When you do internship, that is when I say, when you work with real people, these are the type of answers that you get from them. This is how you understand. That is why I pressurize you all. Go for offline internship and understand the procedure. Yes, Manvi.
Yes, ma'am. I want to share an experience here. The thing that the part that you have said, कि हाँ पैर तो हिलाता है, ये तो करता है. Yes, ma'am. I observed one patient and he is from village background. Yes, ma'am was counseling him like he was using a very illiterate language. So yeah, we have to be like we can't talk in English every time because we are comfortable in that language, but they are not comfortable in that language. So yeah, we have to explain it. We have to explain them that what do we need. We can't use the psychological terms in front of them because they will never able to understand that. That's what I've observed from offline on internship.
Wonderful. I think this is what I'm talking about, Siddhi. So that is how you explain, right? Okay. Any more question that you guys have? Okay.
Ma'am, I have one question, ma'am.
Just coming.
Ma'am, yeah.
Yeah, just a second. I'm just, yeah. Who's speaking?
Ambika.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah.
Ma'am, when you start the counseling, what is the initial stage that we need to start?
Ambika, the initial stage is rapport building. By rapport, I mean that you actually have a bond with the patient. So in this case, the patient is not there directly, but the parent is there. So you have to maintain a bond. First of all, discuss what is happening in life. How are you? Why are you here? The normal conversation. That is the bond building or the relationship building. Because any client that is coming to you, it's here for long. For 15 session, 20 session, you have to be with them, right? So instead of showing sympathy, you need to empathize with them, right? That is why it's very important to build a rapport to start that. That is in the initial session.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now I just cater to all the chat questions.
Ma'am, that 3 stages you told me, na? First one is initial references. Second and the third, ma'am.
Yes, Satish, yes. So the first stage is initial phase, the second is middle phase, and the third is termination phase. Okay. So just give me a moment.
Ma'am, can you explain the initial phases for rapport building, relationship building? What is second and the third?
Right now, I'm telling you in short. The next session will be solution focused. Then I will be telling you in detail. The first session, initial session is rapport building. The middle session is when you collect the data, gather the data. The third session is termination phase. What do you mean by termination phase? Any session that you take up, whether it's a 40-minute session or a 1-hour session, you have to give them a solution. Not always necessary that you have to give them a therapy, but always necessary that whatever their presenting complaints are, how can you cater to that complaint? Whatever their first and primary important presenting complaint is, you need to cater that. That is the termination.
Okay, ma'am. Within the time, given a solution or suggestion, ma'am. Solution or suggestion?
Solution. For example, I come to you and my presenting complaint is that I have anger issues. Now, let's say even if I have schizophrenia also, what is my presenting complaints? Why am I here? I have anger issues. First, you need to sort that out. And then you move on to the major problem, right?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Satish, just mute yourself. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Collecting the data and verify the data also in the middle, right?
Right. Okay. Now, how to build rapport? Still confusion? Please give answers. Okay. Rapport building is, for example, let's say Manvi came to me and she is my counselee and I'm the counselor. So with starting, I would ask the questions like, how may I support you? Hi Manvi, why are you here? So let's just discuss how have you been, how have been your last week, or how have been you lately, anything like that, right? How you start the conversation. Not treat them as a friend, but treat them as a colleague, treat them someone you know. How you answer or how you question, likewise you will pose those questions. Rapport building, just a relationship building with the client. Attention span part.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, just a second. Just Aditi is asking, could you please explain the attention span part feedback that you give to Siddhi? Yes, Ambika, I'm just coming to you. Attention span is okay. Try to understand in the case history. I've mentioned about, just go through the case history. I think it's in the 3rd paragraph. I have mentioned about sustain. What is the difference between maintaining attention and sustaining attention? Anyone? For example, I am sitting in a classroom, right? And the teacher is teaching something to me, right? How much I can focus on the blackboard when the teacher is teaching to me, right? If I am able to focus only for 5 minutes, that is my sustained attention. That is how long can I focus. That you mean by sustain. Attention span could be anything. And it differs also. Likewise, it has mentioned in the case history, whatever Jack likes, in which he is hyper focused. Did you pay attention? There is a word that you have already seen, hyper focus. Hyper focus, mujhe jo pasand hai, I give all my attention to that. I'm not deviating my attention there. That is hyper focus, right? But those things which I do not like, in that I have only a 5-minute attention span. That is the difference between them, right? So that is sustaining attention. In which, for example, I am hyper focused in a sport, in playing football. I will give 20 minutes also, 25 minutes also. I will understand the strategy also, techniques also, how to play, how to manage everything. But the things which I don't like, example, studying, I won't remember. If you have read in the 2nd paragraph, it is written that he writes the invitation card, but he do not remember his own address, but he do not remember his own phone number. Again, he does not pay attention because it doesn't interest him. That is the difference between. It's not a problem in his, that is not a difficulty. That is depends on the interest that he has. That is why he loses attention. Okay. Yes, Neetu, you want to say something? Or who was saying, Ambika, Neetu?
The same thing I just want to say, ma'am, there is some.
Neetu, I'm not able to hear you properly. I think the mic, you need to adjust.
Okay, sure. I think according to the report, the child is hyperactive and he is doing so many activities in the class and he is enjoying his peer group also.
Right.
As who was the parent? I forget the name of the lady. Manvi. Okay. Manvi said earlier the child was enjoying the company of his father and he played bat ball with cricket with him. And later she said, he is very much attached with the mother, but not with the father. So first of all, we have to stick with the case history. The child is hyperactive and he is adamant to do the thing which he wants to do, and in which he is not getting interest. He is not to do. Okay, at the early age when he was so young, or 3 to 4 years old, in that stage, I think parents have done, due to his stubborn nature, he has done whatever he wants. He has done the same. Okay, without any thinking that this is a major problem. Okay, if that stage parent will not fulfill their requirement, unnecessary requirement, then maybe it will not go in the case history. I think so. What you suggest?
Okay, so I beg to differ because ADHD can be a neurodevelopmental problem also. It's a neurodevelopmental problem. In that, there is a part of neurology also. It might be that she has the etiology from the mother itself or the father itself. So if they, treat him in another way also, or the parenting style should also change, then also he will develop those symptoms. But yes, I agree with you because there are levels of severity that I would discuss in the next class. There are levels of severity, mild, moderate. Give me 1 second, Sarabji. So there are levels of severity, mild, moderate, severe, and profound. So I agree, Neetuji, if the parenting style could change a little, I'm not saying it can be eliminated, the ADHD part, but it can be maintained, right, at a mild level. Yes, Sarabji. After Sarjeet, I will come to Ambika and then to Divya Lakshmi. Satishji, I'll come to you. Yes, Sarjeet, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Ma'am, I had a question. They never talked about the milestone.
That is what I was telling them. They have to first start with the individual, the developmental part, and then
Yeah,
move on to
correct.
the school part. Right?
Yeah, so if we will talk about milestones, we'll come to know that whether he was able to do all the things from the beginning. And plus, for 2-3 years, they have been, seeing the behavior. But
Sarjeet, even if I'm not eliminating this, I completely, agree with this, that they will have to ask about the developmental part. But ADHD does not have any relation with the development. I told you in the last class.
Yes, ma'am.
If you remember, ADHD people are intelligent.
Yeah.
Right. So
no, I don't disagree with you. I'm saying that when the parent was mentioning that from 2-3 years, she herself labeled it that I know that he is ADHD.
Definitely.
So the next question should be: have you gone to any counselor before coming to me?
Have you conducted any test or something like that?
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That is why I said that they were deviating, not linking up the question. Right?
Exactly.
So this might be an issue. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sanjay. Okay. Yeah, Divya Lakshmi. No, Ambika is there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah, Ambika.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's about the initial stage when we interact with the parents and the child. What type of a relationship that we have to go through, like means maintaining the relationship? What should be the relationship?
Ambika, just understand, for example, you are a counselor, right? And you have met me the first time, and this is the first time I'm meeting you somewhere in the mall, also somewhere, anywhere, right? Anywhere outside of the clinic environment or outside of the online environment. Now, for example, you have to ask me something. How will you start a conversation? If I'm a complete stranger to you, how will you start a conversation?
Yeah, just hi, how are you? From where you are? What's your name?
Exactly my point. This is the same thing. This is rapport building, right? You start from there. Not like that somebody came to see the doctors. They also maintain some rapport. It's not that they initially, start with the middle phase. I ho kya problem hai, sit there. Not like that. They maintain some rapport. The good doctors, specifically the good doctors, maintain rapport. And then they move on to the next phase, that what is the problem you are here for, right? So this is how you maintain rapport. The smallest of the thing. Remember one thing, Ambika, in any of the cases that are below 18 years, you have to form a very good rapport with the parents. Because the child, only you can do a child observation and you can collect data, but you can't say. It can be manipulative also, right? It can be half authentic also, right? So this could be one thing. So unless and until you maintain a good rapport with the parents, you do not know what sort of info they will give it to you, right? So that you have to understand.
Ma'am, in case the parents are from the village side or from who is unliterate, they don't know to talk in a better form about the child, then how we can maintain the relation?
Likewise, you maintain in English. If they are illiterate also, they know any language, right? Whether it is regional language or Hindi or anything, they know that, right? Then you maintain the repo in their language. Even if they are laborers also, you can ask them about their work, you can ask them about their life, how is it going, are they having some problems, anything.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
see,
Yeah.
everybody, whether they are from a low socioeconomic background or high socioeconomic background, they have a life at the end of the day. You can pose any question related to their life, right? So whether they are from the posh area, whether they are from the backward area, they have a life at the end of the day. You can ask any question to maintain a repo, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, Divyalakshmi.
Just a suggestion initially, ma'am, because if we stick to the case study and whatever that is given there, I think it will be easily relatable because there was some related to what he was doing, and there was a skating and thing that was given, but the references was not there. I think we can build up around the case study. That will be fine for everyone's understanding.
I'll tell you what happens. So if you see a real life case history, that is why I was telling you to go for an internship. The type of files that you get, in that they have only written the verbatim. For example, whatever the parent will speak, they will write in one line, not whole of the paragraph. This is what I have given you just for your understanding. There they will only write 1 or 2 lines, and then you have to probe for it. Right here,
So this session is basically like you ask the questionnaire, whatever the thing is, we have to take notes, right? I want it for my understanding, because if the case study and whatever the parent was saying was not matching, so I was in a confusion whether to take notes of whatever the parent was telling and build a solution for that, or with regards to the case
There
study.
may be confusion, Divyalakshmi. You just do one thing. First of all, for example, if I post any case, do you have DSM-5 TR with you? The book?
No, actually, I was not given any sort of books or PDFs as of yet. I just have the course material, but I have it in my MA clinical psychology. I can take it
Go
for
through
reference.
that, see the 9 parameters that are there and revolving that. So those are 9 parameters. It's not necessary that all the 9 parameters will reflect you in somebody's life. Right? So there could be 1, there could be 2. So this is an extensive case history that I've given you. In real life, you only get 3 or 4 lines, and then you have to ask the question or probe about it. So it's not necessary. And remember one thing, it's not necessary that in the first case, the client will tell you whole of the information, because we are doing the mock play here. So that is why you have to complete this in 14-15 minutes. You have got 9 sessions with the person, 10 sessions with the person. Maybe something very important and critical they will reveal in the 9th session or 8th session. This can also happen. So these are all the things you need to take into account, right?
And also, should we be asking questionnaires for the kid also, like the 7-year-old person that you're asking?
Definitely. See, unless and until, how will you observe? So it's not about only the non-verbal observation. It is about the verbal observation also. Even the counselor that you have in school, they also have an interaction with the client, right? With the child. So, right. So maybe a very small question. That is when you observe how is he interacting. Is he able to answer you back? Is he able to remember certain things? Is he able to omit certain things? Is he remembering what you asked 5 minutes ago? So all these things are also taken into account. So non-verbal interaction is also there. Non-verbal observation is also there, and verbal observation.
So do we have any questionnaires for me for that also?
What I was telling you. In the next session that we have in continuation, I will give you everything at one place.
Ma'am, do we have any PDFs or notes in this course, ma'am? Because like the questionnaires I don't have, so this is the first time I'm observing.
I have books revolving that on ADHD specifically. I think I've shared that also. Have you guys got it? Just go through that, right? So I'll just tell once more to Nitesh that he will post it again.
In that group, ma'am?
That group, yeah.
Okay, because I joined only 3 days back. I'm not sure whatever it is.
You can ask Pratishna or Nitesh or Shipra. They are the admins for that group, so I can post it directly. They will post.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Sonali. Yeah, Pooja, you can leave and enjoy your movie. Yeah.
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Uh,
Hello.
Shivam, I'll just come back to you. Just give me a minute. Yeah, Sonati.
Yeah, hi ma'am. I would
Hi.
like to ask what are the symptoms of ADHD and is there any test that which will confirm that the someone is going under that process or something is like that?
I'll tell you the main three features of ADHD, the main symptoms, and the others I will tell you in detail in the next class. So one is restlessness, the second is impulsivity, the third is irritability. These are the three main symptoms that are there in a child. Right. And there are many tests. We have Vander ADHD also, then ADHD-T also. These are the name of the test, in which parent rating is also there, teacher rating is also there, child observation is also there. All the things are merged in one test. So there are two tests that we do for ADHD.
Okay.
Right? I will provide you that. Don't worry about it.
Okay, is there any age criteria to observe this? In only child phase it will happen or in the elder also will find
Starts
it?
from the child phase, but it's not necessary that it will start at 3 only or 4 only. It can develop at 7 years also, it can develop at 8 years also, but generally the symptom starts from the age of 3 to 4 years.
Okay, in
Generally.
elders we won't develop.
In elders, no, directly it doesn't develop. But understand it like this, if you do not treat ADHD, ADHD will become conduct disorder. If it is not treated, conduct disorder will become antisocial personality disorder if not treated. So this is the line that goes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
First is the
Thank you.
ADHD. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Nidhi. After Nidhi, I'm coming to Shivam. Yeah, Nidhi.
In the case history, it was written that he comes from an extended family history of ADHD, mental health concerns as well. So should we be taking like family history about the other health concerns of the other family members also?
Definitely. That is what I was saying. I don't know because you were also there in the last class. I'm just repeating myself again. Guys, we post the case info or we post the case information 9 hours prior, 10 hours prior, so that you can go through that information, read that information in detail, right? Here we do not see, here we start with the mock session directly. So it's my humble request to you from the next time, just read the session, just read the case information, and then you come prepared on your part, right? So there are many things that are there. That is why I was telling you, prepare your questions in advance and all of that, so that you can come here directly and start with the mock session. Yes, Lisa.
Also, ma'am, is ADHD genetic?
It's neurodevelopmental. So it's not necessary. Majority of the times, it's neurodevelopmental. That means it's genetic. Right? Or maybe it could be also one thing that you need to probe. And when I talk about, I think I've shared the child case history also. That is when you have to ask what kind of pregnancy was it? Was there a problem in the pregnancy or problem in the surgery, and all of those things might be a sign.
So prenatal history as well.
Could be prenatal, postnatal also, right? Postnatal has surgeries, prenatal has any kind of infection, the mother was using any kind of substance abuse, father was having, or maybe they opted for some other kind of pregnancy, maybe a IVF or something like that. So anything could go wrong, right? So it could be prenatal, natal, postnatal, anything. For that you need to inquire about that, right? Okay. Yeah. So yes, Shivam. Shivam, are you here?
Sorry, I am on. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Shivam.
Ma'am, my question is, if I'm a counselor, what exactly we do? We listen to them, or how we give solution? Like we today in today's session, I didn't find any solution.
I'll tell you. So what happens, because all of you are majorly new to counseling or psychotherapy or any of the of these subjects, right? Or new to psychology altogether. So what I generally do, this is my line of teaching. In one session, you play the role of a counselor or a counseling. In the second session, that will be in continuation next Saturday, I will give you all the solution altogether, and I will give you the basic information also for all those people who are new. What is ADHD? What are the symptoms of ADHD? What are the tests under ADHD? And how we give solution? What kind of therapies do we give? Anything that I will take in the next session. This is how I proceed.
ADHD ये जो था ये किसके अंडर आया, लाइक चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी और काउंसलिंग, मतलब देयर वर सो मेनी।
ADHD देखो किसी के भी अंडर आ सकता है, लेकिन मेजरली ये चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी के अंडर है, ठीक है। किसी के भी अंडर कैसे आ सकता है, अब समझो इस बात को। मुझे रिलेशनशिप प्रॉब्लम है, मैं आपके पास आई, लेकिन आपको अचानक से पता चलता है कि मियाँ बीवी की फाइट है, रिलेशनशिप इशू है, लेकिन जो लड़की आपके पास आई है इन्फॉर्म करने, जो क्लाइंट है, उसको तो ADHD है। हो सकता है ये एक रीजन हो फाइटिंग का। तो ADHD प्रॉब्लम तो किसी में भी हो सकती है, मेजरली किसके अंडर आती है, चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी के अंडर आती है।
मतलब all like interrelated, I think कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है,
exactly
we have to like look, ऐसे दम ऊपर से देखना पड़ेगा अगर someone is coming to us कि ये प्रॉब्लम है and all that।
तभी because you are new to this group and many of us, तो मैं क्या करूंगी, I have already shared adult case history and a child case history। इसका मतलब ये होता है what sort of question you need to ask the client or the patient। मैं दोबारा शेयर करने के लिए बोल दूंगी, नितेश has it, right? So he will share in the group itself, so that for your understanding what sort of questions you need to ask, वो आपके पास already होगा।
And when we provide solution, we do make them do something, or like we give medicine or something. What kind of solution we give?
In ADHD, if it is severe, ठीक है, तब हम SSRI देते हैं, स्टिमुलेंट्स देते हैं। वो भी साइकोलॉजिस्ट या तो क्लिनिकल साइकोलॉजिस्ट प्रेस्क्राइब कर सकता है, या फिर कोई साइकेट्रिस्ट प्रिस्क्राइब कर सकता है। काउंसलर और साइकोलॉजिस्ट दे ओनली गिव ट्रीटमेंट्स, थेरेपी देते हैं वो। तो जैसे CBT हो गया, ऐसे 200 थेरेपीज है, EFT हो गया, बहुत सारी थेरेपीज है। अलग अलग थेरेपी अलग चीज में काम करती है। दिस इज, यू अंडरस्टैंड इट दिस वे, ठीक है। तो थेरेपी इज द वर्क।
ये सब थेरेपी जो है इस कोर्स में विल बी एबल टू नो, और लाइक क्या?
अच्छा, यू आर एनरोल्ड इन काउंसलिंग ना, सो उस काउंसलिंग के जो तुम वीडियोस देख रहे हो या जो भी फैसिलिटेटर है, दैट पर्सन विल एक्सप्लेन यू इन डिटेल। आई कैन टेल यू। हाँ,
मतलब जो सोल्यूशन होगा रिगार्डिंग सम प्रॉब्लम, you will be teaching us कि इसका ये हो सकता है। We have to figure out.
I will teaching you, but since I have only 1.5 hours, so I try that I'll teach you in one go only. लेकिन आप उस कोर्स में एनरोल हो ऑलरेडी किसी ना किसी कोर्स में, they will be teaching you in detail, ठीक है। So this is the, but I will be teaching you everything। ऐसा नहीं होगा कि कुछ मिस आउट हो जाए, so that when you go back and you study on yourself, जब दोबारा अपनी सेल्फ स्टडी करो तो पता हो कि क्या चल रहा है, like that।
So we have to read some books regarding this or something.
That I will provide to you. Don't worry about that. ADHD books बहुत सारी हैं, तो उसमें से आप देख लेना, कोई उसमें इशू नहीं, ठीक है। ओके शिवा,
ठीक है, थैंक यू मैम।
थैंक यू।
Hi, just a quick question. Is this a mixed class? Like it covers everything, like from child psychology to relationship psychology and everything?
Yes, because that gives, in this mock session class we have a topic, and that topic, see, in psychology every topic is interrelated. That is what I was explaining to Shivam also. If somebody comes to you for relationship queries or relationship issue, that is when as a counselor you identify that I have ADHD, so you can link up that too. That is for your understanding, that you need to understand what is ADHD. You can't be only relying just on relationship thing, right? Or relationship counseling information. For that, you need to understand about the mental disorder also. So everything in psychology is interrelated.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Yes. Yes, Prashant.
Hello, ma'am. The question I have is regarding this case that we were just doing. So how does this work? Is this some real case that that you had in the past, or maybe somebody at Emometrics had in the past, and that's how we are building upon this, or is it some sort of really fiction?
So see, what we do generally, in USA majorly, we have a lot of autism cases and ADHD cases. So those cases are actually printed in the book itself. Those are real cases, but the names are changed to maintain the confidentiality. So these are real cases.
Okay, so if this is a real case, I was a little lost in terms of understanding because the case it speaks about that this person Jack, 7 years old, he so at one of the points it is mentioned that he is liked by others in their company, so he's invited for birthday parties, play dates, etc. So which means he essentially people enjoy his company. That is why he's invited. Towards the end, we have it says that he had been involved in some really inappropriate behavior,
What you
aggression.
said earlier are two different connotations. He likes to be in somebody's company and others enjoy his company are completely two different things, right? If he likes to be with somebody, that doesn't mean others will also enjoy. These are two separate statements.
But this is why I was saying that, it is mentioned that he was invited, which means people enjoyed his company. This is why he was invited.
That's an assumption. If I live in a society, that may be a compulsion also. Understand it this way.
Okay, okay.
That might be a compulsion also, that my parents and his parents have a good bonding. I may not like the child, and I'm saying it again as a 7-year-old, that Mama, I don't want to call him. But then again, it's a compulsion that when you live in a society, right? So that could be unthinkable.
Right. So which brings us back to the previous point that you had mentioned, so which was about the case history which you actually collect from the client while they're in the session is probably more reliable because that is why because that way you can connect the dots, what's happening instead of okay, makes perfect sense.
I am not saying, and it has happened with me also, it happened with many of the psychologists also. In the first session, that is why I say that only the rapport formation certain time dragged up to 3 sessions or 5 sessions. Why? It's very difficult to form a rapport with someone who's a completely stranger to you. Right? So that could be one thing. Or I might not recall at that point of time. Maybe I'm physically tired, mentally tired, anything of that sort. And I might not recall that information at that particular point of time. So that could also be an issue. That is when other people were saying that they do not stick to the case history. See, case that for you, it's a case history. For the other person, it's life. Right. She is actually describing, understand it this way, the 7 years of Jack's life. Or he was diagnosed, let's say, at the age of 4, those 3 years of life. So she can't, give all the information in one line and in one paragraph on one day in a 40-minute session. Right? That is why it drags. So it's just for your information so that you understand what are the yardsticks, what are the parameters, and how can we identify, okay, this person has ADHD. Right. So that is just for your understanding. I have given such an extensive case so that you understand. Okay, he's flapping his hand, might be ADHD. He's not paying attention, might be ADHD. He's restless, might be ADHD. So this is how you link up certain things or you rule out certain things.
Right. And just one last question. You mentioned 3 main symptoms of ADHD: restlessness, impulsivity, and which was the third one?
Irritability.
Irritability. Okay. And you would relay more information on ADHD symptoms, etc. in the next.
Exactly. And that would be much more extensive in the last class. Likewise, I was telling about the sexual harassment. Same, I will, like in that same flow, I will take in the next session, next Saturday.
Perfect. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Sadaf. Manvi, I'll just come to you. Yes, Sadaf.
Yes, Nancy, thank you. Nancy, actually, I just wanted to know, is there any similarity between autism and ADHD? Because there is one child in my family and we went to one clinical psychologist and he detected that he's suffering from autism. But after some time, we went to another clinical psychologist and he said that he's suffering from ADHD. So the parents of the child, they are like confused. And he's now 3 years old. And obviously after 3 years, they are planning to start schooling and all. But the play schools, they are not ready to take admission because he's having all these disorders. He's not able to focus on anything. He's just like busy in his own world. and he's hyperactive, not able to focus on anything. So I just wanted to know that is there any center which is good for the treatment of such students? I mean, such kids.
Okay, so Sadaf, you need to understand there are two things that are there. Maybe the last clinical psychologist, did she has any diagnostic tests?
Test she doesn't use because he was just 2+ years, but he was just observing his behavior. On the basis of the behavior and the activities, he said that he's autistic.
We can't. I think I don't know what's the methodology of that clinical psychologist, but until and unless the child is 3 or 3.5 years, we can't even observe, because at 2 he's developing. So 3 or 3.5 years, only then we can observe if the child has the symptoms of autism or ADHD, right?
Okay, so actually he was lagging all such developmental phases which normally a normal child has. So that is why he has taken that child to a psychologist, because doctors, they are saying that some abnormality is there, either neurological or psychological. So you have to go to some clinical psychologist. So
Then
they
also,
went.
if say, for example, if say all the developmental, there is a complete developmental delay, that is called GDD, global developmental delay, right? So it could be a possibility that there is no autism or no ADHD, only GDD is there. That is global developmental delay. Read about that in global developmental delay. There are only physical symptoms that are delayed, but no problems as of that. Due to that physical symptoms that are delayed, the child is having problems. So it could be GDD, not autism, not ADHD. Until and unless the child is not 3 or 3.5, we can't diagnose.
Now he's actually 3+, and the parents are much worried, and they contacted me and they told me that, ma'am, if you have any idea about any such center where his treatment can be done, you please let us know. So that is why I am just asking this question, so that they can get a right diagnosis and right treatment for the child, because he's the only child. Yeah.
Visit any clinical psychologist who can do at least 3 tests, who can do a ADHD test, a autism test, and a GDD test.
Okay.
First of all, test is the first priority that we have. Then only we can. Yeah, then only. See, being, if there is a psychologist who's a 70-year-old person also, 65-year-old person also, having 20 years of experience, 25 years of experience, then also he may be wrong in his diagnosis. Right? So until unless the tests are not done, we can't say anything absolutely. Right? So first of all, test, then, but I am telling you the name of the test. ADHD can be there, autism can be there, and then GDD is there, global developmental delay. As you said, all the milestones are delayed, so it can be GDD also.
Okay,
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Yes, Manavi.
Ma'am, that you mentioned just right now that a clinical psychologist can also prescribe the medicine. But ma'am, as far as I know, in my very limited knowledge, a clinical psychologist can't prescribe. They can only give psychotherapy and
SSRIs, stimulants, antidepressants, anti-schizophrenic medicines, they can prescribe. If they have to do any MRI or CT scan, anything like that, surgery, or any severe psychotic drugs or something like that, they have to go to the psychiatrist for that. Right? So that is the difference. And normal antidepressants, any kind of SSRIs, stimulants to just see the behavior, any of the placebos also to control the behavior, that a clinical psychologist can give. Right? Okay, so I'll just read the questions. Okay, so.
Hello, ma'am.
Who's speaking? Shraddha ji, just give me a moment. I'm just reading the chat.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Aditi. Julie has said, hi, Nancy, my course is relationship and marriage counseling. We will do case study on LGBT next week because today's topic is non-marriage. Julie, are you here?
Yes.
Julie, every topic is interrelated. That is what I was explaining to Shivam also.
Right, I
Then
heard it.
suppose any relationship psychology case also comes to you, she might have ADHD also, or he might have ADHD also. If there are gay partners also, lesbian partners also, they can even have, right? So that you have to understand. If they have conduct disorder also or anti-personal disorder also, for example, the male is hitting the women again and again, and it's repeated. The duration is high. That you need to suspect it might be antisocial also. This is how is repeated.
After that, you answered it. So it was like, fine, yes. And so next Saturday, gonna be the same topic which we discussed today. Right?
Continuation, but that would be material for you, solution focused.
Solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, the closure, how we solve it.
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Pratap has said we need to extend this class. So it's 10-minute extended, Pratap. Okay. Okay, yeah. So Satish has one doubt. I'll just take it up. Yeah, Manvi, you are saying something? You need to add up something?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I also I also signed up for psychotherapy course. तो मैम उसकी भी क्लास कब होगी?
Beta, again, my answer will be the same. You can ask Pratishtha or Nitesh or Shipra. I seriously don't know about or any of the background process, right? All the background process you have to ask. Yes, Dr. Shraddha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Dr. Shraddha.
Yeah, actually, I need to mention one thing, about this child Jack. That how long we talked. This Jack interacts well with the peers his own age, and easily led influenced by others, and and then he gets upset when he does not receive recognition, and when he's ignored. So my thing is, when he doesn't receive recognition and when he is ignored, his symptoms gets increased, and he acts socially immature also, and he demonstrates attention seeking behavior. So mean to say, all his symptoms are increased during this period. So it should be focused more, right? So if his triggering points are considered, then he must be having less symptoms of that.
Shraddha, we need to understand one thing that I will take it up in the next class also. We have levels of severity. Now, anything that you will do, for example, if you are giving attention to that child also, doing all the therapy sessions also, anything, that will only manage that person. Right? That will only manage their behavior. It can't completely eliminate that behavior. And then there are levels of severity. Understand it this way, right? So he might be at a severe level or a profound level, right? So there are things that can be managed at a mild level and a moderate level, but not at a severe level or a profound level. So you have to understand that also. So
yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that is to some extent we can manage it, and if it is on the next level, we have to go deeply to get treated. But I'm just asking that even if it has to be managed, we have to work on the triggering level from the parent side, right?
Right. For example, I'll give you just very basic example. In ADHD, sugar levels are maintained. Why? Because sugar levels actually increase the hyperactivity or increase the restlessness or increase the irritability. So that could be from the parent side. If you as a counselor or psychologist advise the parents that you need to give very limited sugar products or limited sugar content, that can be a triggering event for the child and that can be managed. So yes, there are certain things that can be managed from the parents also. Even when it
And
comes to the routine and everything. Yeah, please continue.
and this is that content of that eatables things, and by behavior level also, can we guide them?
See, AD, again, it depends. If it is at the mild level, then you can guide and they can easily be it's easily be maintained or something like that. But if it has a severe level, then it is not possible. Or at the profound level, then guidance will have no issues in that. Guidance will only work.
Yeah, in this it is written that he often blurts out answers, interrupts other students, and recognizes this tendency in himself, but says he can't stop in spite of his best intentions. Mean to say, the child is trying, but
the child
he
has
can't able
insight.
to stop.
So there are two things that the child has insight, or any adult also has insight, and they don't have insight. Here the child has insight that whatever I am doing.
Child has insight.
Yeah. Has insight.
Means that if the child has insight, means for the counselor it will be easier to get to counsel the child and get treated. Mean to say, the child has insight then.
Achha, you are talking from that point of view. So yeah, I mean to say, it can be, matlab, if the child is manipulative, then it is of no use. That is also one thing you need to understand. Even if the child has insight, but the child is manipulative, maybe he's telling a yes when you are counseling him, and he's not following anything when he's going back. So insight is not helping. Right? So that also you need to take into account. If the person has insight and accordingly he is following your attention, he is giving you attention and following those procedures, then it will work for you. Again, depends on the behavior of the child.
Okay, fine.
Right.
One thing, can I ask? In this, it is written that the child is getting easily influenced by others. So, does that mean that a child is innocent or something like that?
Child is innocent at the end of the day.
Yeah, child is innocent at the end of the day.
So
I agree that.
So child is innocent at the end of the day. Anybody who is having any kind of mental disorder, they are innocent. Even if they have insight or do not have their insight, it's a neurodevelopmental disorder. It could be because of the genetics. So he has no issues with that. He's pure by heart. He is innocent only. It's just the problems that are there inside him that is making him cause this behavior. Right.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
fine. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, the last question I'm taking from the chat. We are already 15 minutes up.
Okay, ma'am. The sugar is interconnected with the ADHD.
Yes, sugar is connected with ADHD. Any of the, not only sugar, any of the sugary products also. Even if I consider chocolates also, even if I consider muffin, cake, anything which has sugar content. Even the bananas also. Anything which rises your insulin levels or glucose levels.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I hope what is the corrective measures in the upcoming classes for ADHD?
Hmm.
We will